Hi everybody, Dr. D here. Now today we're going to focus on one of the core compromises that I am engaged in frequently, that being the issue of digestion. Basically what we're talking about is your ability to break down, digest, absorb, and utilize nutrients from your diet and from the supplements that you take. Now there are a number of potential complications built into this particular process. So you can have an organic dysfunction, in other words, a genetic tendency toward a compromise in digestion that will ultimately result in some form of symptoms. You can have stress, which we're going to talk about in a future video, being a major compromising factor by virtue of the way the mechanism of stress is designed and the way that it functions and the impact that it has on systems like digestion. You can have a compromise in digestion as a result of choices that you make, behaviors that you engage in, diets that you choose, supplements that you choose, and even the environment that you function in on a day-to-day basis. Now, I'm going to extract one important part of the digestive process that is floating to the surface of most of the current research, and that is called the microbiome. And the microbiome is essentially the major component of digestion involving the small intestine. It weighs about 3 pounds, about the same as the brain. And it's a very consolidated environment in the sense that it is populated by basically two groups of bacteria. The good bacteria and the bad bacteria make up 90% of this digestive environment. The good bacteria, and you don't have to remember this, are called Firmicutes. The bad bacteria are called Bacteroidetes. Now, depending on what the relationship is between these two groups of bacteria is going to determine an awful lot about how efficient your digestive process actually is. So, if you have more bad bacteria than you do good, they obviously are going to dictate what occurs in the digestive environment. The primary compromises, as a result of an increase in the bad bacteria, is the production of a substance called LPS, or lipopolysaccharides, and the net effect of this substance being produced by the bad bacteria is that it weakens the connection between the walls in the single cells that make up the small intestine. So as these walls become weaker, the waste product created as a byproduct of the digestive process is then absorbed as what's called an endotoxin, or a toxin created within the environment. And this waste product then is populating the entire biological environment and needs to be removed, or it needs to be stored, which again is the topic for a future video called congestion and stagnation. Now, as this toxic substance is populated throughout the entire biological environment, a series of events occurs, as it does with every major event in the biological environment. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything affects everything else. And the most important aspect of the map is that we're capable of identifying what caused what, which came first, where's the chicken and where's the egg. Now, when we're talking about a compromise in the digestive process, obviously the increased production of LPS weakens the walls in the small intestine. Toxins leak back through that wall. They become foreign substances that then activate the immune system that has no idea what these toxins are. And long term, this lipopolysaccharide contributes to what they call systemic inflammation, or inflammation that occurs throughout the entire body in the form of a number of other substances that ultimately, if left unidentified and unchecked, can set the stage for a variety of other disorders and diseases that actually, in and of themselves, are symptoms of this dynamic that I just discussed. So identifying the core imbalance in the digestive process is the most important part, because it answers the question, why am I experiencing digestive difficulties? Why do I have leaky gut? Why do I have IBS? Why do I have gas and bloating? Why do I have constipation or diarrhea? All primary functions of the digestive system being intact. So as we proceed through this series of videos, I'm going to isolate each of these events, each of these substances, and I'm going to demonstrate for you what impact they have on the entire biological environment over the long run. I'm Dr. Richard DiCenso, and thank you for watching.